I'm Carlos Diaz. I'm first-gen low-income here at Duke. I'm also a first-generation Mexican-American. My pronouns are he, him, his, and I'm running for DSG President. I think my single biggest priority if I win is making sure students are being heard, and that means marginalized student groups such as the Latinx population, Black population, queer, disabled, etc. Because I think you can make up a lot of excuses for why DSG is slow moving on the administrative front, but there's absolutely no excuse for why DSG hasn't been interacting with the general body more often than it has. I think my biggest accomplishment, I'm not actually a part of DSG, I'm an affiliate through the Latinx caucus, but my biggest accomplishment on campus has been through the Student Advisory Board. I worked all last summer with a group of students volunteering our time with administration to plan this school year under the guise of COVID. We were able to get a lot done, such as PPE for all workers and securing housing for low-income and international students, but there was still a lot more work we needed to do and a lot more work that administration really couldn't meet us halfway on, so I'm looking to still work through DSG to get some of those initiatives done. Yeah, so like I mentioned earlier, I think the biggest thing on DSG's end that I disagree with is one, it's not representative of the student body. Looking up at the Senate makeup, it's not socioeconomically representative or racially/ethnically. And you see this also in their interactions with student groups. I've had to reach out proactively as president of Mi Gente multiple times in order to be heard by DSG, and when I finally was allotted some time to come to a Senate meeting and hear out their projects, I offered constructive criticisms on some and was met with a lot of passive aggressiveness, was met with a lot of pushback, and this was true for members of BSA and the Latinx caucus who also offered their input. So I just think they're supposed to be representing student needs, and so the fact that they're pushing back on what we're advocating for is a little ridiculous in my opinion. My favorite study spot has been La Casa. For those who don't know, La Casa is the cultural space allotted to Latinx students here on Duke's campus. It's on the bottom floor of the BC within the Center for Multicultural Affairs. And while I love that space, it is a tiny, tiny room in the middle of nowhere. If you're not actively looking for it, you're never going to find it. So many Latinx students don't even know it exists, and I think that's a huge problem. Visibility is an issue we have as a community, and I think our space reflects that issue perfectly. So I'd want to advocate for larger cultural spaces and more retention of POC staff through DSG as well.